Hello there, and welcome to the first ever Brothers in Prayer podcast. We are super excited to get this started and get introduced here. So my name is Drew Hammett.
I'm Xander Johnson.
I'm Dylan Burkett.
And we are students at CVC High School. I'm a junior.
I'm sophomore.
Also a junior here.
And we just wanted to kind of, we were sitting there the other day, and we were like, we love Brothers in Prayer. This is our morning prayer club, that's what it is. And we were discussing what we can do to help move the club to the next level. And so we decided that moving forward, we think one of the best things we could do was to help expand past our CBC community. And so for us, we figured the best way to do this would be help to kind of maybe even create a podcast, which is what you see here. So Xander, what is Brothers in Prayer to you?
So to me, it's kind of just this group of Catholic guys, Catholic or Christian guys here at CBC who are just passionate about their faith and are willing to just share it with others. And it's a great time. We come in, maybe you're stressed, maybe you're this, and you can always rely on these group of guys. And it's just an awesome experience every week.
I love that you said Catholic or Christian there, because while CBC is technically a Catholic school, we draw from a wide variety of kids of different ethnicities and different religions. I know one of my good friends, Yash, he's a junior here at CBC, and he is not Catholic at all. As a matter of fact, I think he's Buddhist. But he would still show up to Brothers in Prayer every single time last year, right?
It's just the community. That's what it is.
And that was what was so powerful about it. And that communal aspect, that brotherhood, that's what really kind of sets us apart from the other kind of things that you see at these high schools. And so that's what I think I'm really excited to help share with you guys. Dylan, what is Brothers in Prayer to you?
Brothers in Prayer to me is, like Xander here said, a group of fun-loving guys who want to grow in their faith. Every week we have a presenter come into VIP, and we just have a guy who's willing to tell some sort of testimony from his faith life, whether it has to do with the upcoming gospel or something like that, or just an experience that he thinks all of us can benefit from, like never give up, something motivational like that. I think that, VIP is a great place to grow in your faith, like Xander said, and for anyone to come who may not be sure where they're at in their faith life.
That's another great thing I love about BIP. BIP, our abbreviation, Brothers in Prayer, BIP. Is that it's something new every week. You don't know what you're gonna get, and that's part of the greatness of it. Is just, I don't know, is greatness, is that a word you can use? It's so great that every week I come in, I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't know if I'm gonna have somebody talking about maybe their struggles or somebody talking about how great their faith life has been. So really, it can relate on different levels, and I don't know what I'm gonna get. So I'm almost eager to go into Brothers in Prayer. What am I gonna hear about today?
And I think one thing that really kind of caught me off guard about the club as a whole was the fact that I know my classmates pretty well, right? But there's this always there could be this super quiet kid that always usually just sits in the corner of class. I don't talk to him a whole lot, right? And he can get up there at Brothers in Prayer in front of a room full of 30 to 40 kids and just give the most amazing speech ever, right?
Yeah.
And that was something that I really thought was really cool, is because you get to grow with these kids that you usually wouldn't have talked to in a way that really is kind of unique. You really get to grow this deeper connection with them. And that's what I thought's been really great about it.
And the other thing is with maybe even different years. For example, I'm a sophomore, and you both are juniors. Right. I probably wouldn't be talking to you guys other than this. So Brothers in Prayer is a great way for freshman, sophomore, junior, senior to all get to know each other and have fun. Builds a school community.
Yeah, that's a great point you make there. And with us having all 4 grades here that we want to get more involved at Brothers in Prayer, I think that's one of the key aspects of why we're doing this podcast, is we want to grow it. I mean, Drew, your brother before we went here, Luke Hammett, did an excellent job of growing the VIP community. And I think it's kind of our turn to try and carry on that legacy. And this podcast right here is a great way for anyone watching to come to Brothers in Prayer and realize that we are just a fun-loving group of guys that we want more people to come. Like you said, 20 to 30 kids. Our end goal is to get it so big that we take up the whole chapel and eventually have to move to the cafeteria.
Yeah, and the other thing is we're at CBC, and what was De La Salle's mission? De La Salle's mission was education and bringing God to the youth. And that's kind of what we're doing through this podcast, because maybe not everybody can come into Brothers in Prayer. By the way, Thursday, 8:02. Not everybody can maybe come into Brothers in Prayer, but you can listen. You can listen to Brothers in Prayer. Because every week we're going to have the leader from Brothers in Prayer that week on the podcast. So if you can't make it, you can listen. And that's bringing it to everybody.
Yeah. And I love that you brought up St. John Baptist de La Salle, because he's kind of obviously where our LaSallian education comes from at CBC. We are a LaSallian school, and that has a whole other deeper meaning to it that we'll probably get to on a later date. But
Whole other topic.
Yeah, absolutely, no, for sure. But that's what kind of one of his founding principles was the fact that he believed every single kid, regardless of their wealth, their income, their education, deserves a good shot at really education, right?
Yep.
And so that's what I believe. Obviously, one of our biggest principles here at CBC is our faith, right? And being educated on your faith is something that a lot of times we just kind of look over and we don't really take the time to actually focus on how important that is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I think, our overall overarching goal of Brothers in Prayer is to kind of take this faith and integrated learning that St. John Baptist de La Salle was so good at and kind of expand that past our CBC community.
That's a great point, Drew. I don't think you could explain that really any better. I mean, that is what BIP is to us, and really to all the other students, it's what you make of it, you know?
Yeah.
When you come to BIP, you don't have to be some guy that's outstanding in your faith and leading and talking about it and sharing all of the stuff that goes on in your life. You can be there and just go there to listen and grow from what other people have experienced. And I think that's great, that it's all inclusive, and like no matter where you're at in your life, especially during times right now with COVID and everything, it's a place that we can still come together and be brothers.
So I like how you brought up COVID, you brought up getting it to like other people outside the CBC community. That's a thought that came to me when starting this podcast and putting it all together is, well, with everything going virtual right now, this is the best time, the best opportunity to get Brothers in Prayer on a virtual, like online platform. Because everyone's switching to virtual, everyone's like going YouTube online stuff because of COVID. We can't like all get together. So like, this is the best time to like grow the Brothers in Prayer to the virtual online.
No,
So,
absolutely. I think too, it's obviously a little bit different here at CBC. We have a rule where it basically says if you come to school early, you immediately have to report to your period of one class, right?
Yeah.
And that's been kind of hard for us because obviously we are a prayer club. We meet in the morning before school. And one of the biggest advantages we had last year is if you were walking to Brothers in Prayer and you saw a kid in the hallway, what you would do is you would drag him in there with you, right? That way,
literally, drag, no.
no. So you and your friend, you just got another person that was randomly walking in the hallway to come to bit, right? And obviously right now, you can't drag them because you have to be 6 feet apart, but
Yeah.
that's a whole other topic. So it's hard to kind of get those kids back into bit because the amount of people that are showing up to school earlier is getting less and less, right?
That is
And
true.
that's why I think our goal now is to also raise awareness that we are still going, Brothers in Prayer is still stronger than ever. And I
100%.
really can't wait to just kind of continue to expand and grow in the next coming year.
And the thing I want to go with that is, where do you see Brothers in Prayer? Like, what kind of stuff do we do? Because like we talked about what we do every week, but like what other kind of stuff do we do? Like we go on retreats, we do stuff. Yeah, Dylan,
Right,
you want to?
we have retreats. Oh, my computer just died. We
ever
collaborate
gone?
with other schools. We do all sorts of things. I mean, really our mission for Brothers in Prayer is to spread our word here like we've talked about already, but also with other schools too. I know Drew knows a lot about this, but we've actually been collaborating with St. Joe a lot on Brothers in Prayer, and they actually have Angels of Prayer over there. You want to talk about that some?
Yeah,
Drew?
absolutely. So I've been talking with my friend Lily at St. Joe's. She's kind of the head leader of their Angels in Prayer, which is very similar to Brothers in Prayer, their morning prayer club. And so we're hoping to pretty soon here get a collaboration where we will have a Zoom call with the St. Joe's Prayer Club. And again, just that communal aspect of just we are both showing up to school early to pray. That's our only goal. And that has a really strong bond that goes beyond the classroom, right? And beyond just like that moment there praying, right? And I think more importantly than that, we have a bunch of other events that are kind of lesser known that people don't really know about. And those are kind of the gold mine events that I feel like really kind of characterize Brothers in Prayer. For example, tonight's Wednesday, and during COVID, it kind of screwed everything up. But every Wednesday, the first Wednesday of a month, Incarnate Word Parish has an event called Encounter, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
adoration, praise, and worship. It's amazing. Probably my favorite night of the month.
I've
right?
actually never been. This will be my first time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this will be my
Oh,
first
you're gonna
time.
love
I
it.
know,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
gosh,
love
dude.
it.
Yeah, so I cannot wait. So again, tonight we're hoping to have a good turnout for that. But those smaller events that people don't really know about is what really kind of makes Brothers in Prayer like as good as it is.
And there's a common theme we've been talking as well as fun. There's a bunch of fun stuff we do. Like when you look at Brothers in Prayer, you might look at it as a group where you go in, you sit in the chapel, you say like Gregorian chants the whole time. No, that's not what we do. For like the retreats, for example, like I probably spent 75% of last retreat like fishing. I remember in the morning, I accidentally woke up Drew at like, what was it, 5:30 in the morning, and I was like, hey, I'm going fishing. I was like, it was awesome, it was fun, and like,
You didn't catch anything?
I caught like 14 bass on that
Oh,
retreat.
that's good.
So did Peter Coco. Peter
That's
Coco,
perfect.
by the way, he's our our producer over here. He's recording. He's behind the camera. Shout out to Peter.
But no, I love it. So yeah, so I'm glad you brought up the Brothers in Prayer retreat too, because we were actually able to do that retreat even though we had COVID and everything, and it was awesome. Probably one of the highlights of my week, really, because like we haven't had a whole lot going on because COVID and everything. But
Yeah.
that's we should talk about COVID too, because that's a whole other topic.
That we're
you
gonna
know,
do a video on that,
for
definitely.
sure, absolutely. But in general, I'm glad we're doing this, and I can't wait to see what happens in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
This has been a great talk, guys. I think we kind of hit on all the main points of Brothers in Prayer. I mean, we're going to be looking to cover anything from different Catholic and Christian topics to COVID to stuff with just every leader coming in each week and talking about what they're going to be presenting in BIP. So make sure you guys tune back to these podcasts. I mean, we have many more coming, and this is the first one, so I hope you enjoy.
If you have ideas, tell us. We'd love to hear it. We'll do it.
And of course, hold on, the final selling point: Brothers in Prayer, free donuts.
How do we forget about the
every
donuts?
Thursday, baby.
How do we
Show up.
forget?
It's the best
Dude.
part of Brothers in Prayer, so we'd love to see you there, guys.
Yep.